real estate is all about opportunity and being prepared for the opportunity. And if you're not prepared for it, then you're going to miss the opportunity. So that advice is for everybody. Stay prepared, educate yourself, get out your own way, execute, make sure you have reserves, and treat it like a business and learn how to minimize your taxes. How y'all doing today? All right, let's go.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Everybody feeling good? All right, all right.
Trust these shares. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm too big.
Hey, look.
Put on the ground for
Yo, look, if I fall,
we got 5 acres, bro.
look, if y'all niggas put me on World Star, we're gonna have a problem, all right? Straight road either.
Yeah, so we didn't feel right coming to New York without having one of New York's finest, right?
We got to report to the bridge.
So according to you, like, because everybody in this room, most people know you, but some people don't. So who is MG the Mortgage Guy? Just give us some background on your story and how you got to where you are today.
Y'all got time?
I mean, we got a little time.
Well, believe it or not, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from
Brooklyn house?
I grew up actually on Gates and Troop. So every time I drive through this area, it's like I'm reminiscing. But I'm a Queens guy through and through. Queens get the money.
Okay, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up, I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Brooklyn, but we moved to Queens when I was like 10 because Brooklyn represents a lot of trauma in my life. You know what I'm saying? So who am I? I come from the mud. I come from this area. It was do or die, right? And you had to do or die. My family is drug dealers and drug users. Probably like most people in this audience right now, we all come from some sort of trauma. But I'm just the definition of where you come from don't dictate who you're going to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Like my mother's a crackhead. My uncle's a crackhead. I got cousins that's in jail. They'll never see the day of light again, you know? But we all have that story. We all have family. Louder. I can't be doing much louder than what I can. Can y'all hear me good? Okay. If you can't, then move on in there, because I can't talk too loud. I'm soft.
Can we raise this mic a little bit?
Or raise my mic.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm just the definition of how you start in life is not how you finish. And you just got to will your way through everything. Doesn't matter what your family did, your parents did, your uncles did. None of that shit matters. It's all on what you're going to do. We're all adults, right? So for me, all the accolades and, you know, being business partners with the biggest ever and funding all these loans really don't define who I am as a person. Who I am is just a person just like everyone in this room. At one point in my life, I was sitting in these rooms. I was watching the YouTube videos. I was on Bigger Pockets trying to figure it out. I was trying to take my career to another level. And, you know, I just was persistent about me and what I wanted to do and just kept my faith strong. And just even when you have bumps and roads and, you know, I like to say when God give you lemons, you got to make lemonade. I made a lot of lemonade in my life, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you up. So like, who am I? I'm you. I'm just on stage now. Hopefully in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, some of you guys will be on the stage telling your story and being able to inspire and motivate people the way that people look at me now. So I'm just blessed to have this opportunity to speak to all of you guys tonight and for you guys to even have me here. Shout out to Drew Bernard and the whole Brooklyn Bank team.
Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it.
But, you know, that's who I am in a nutshell. I come from the streets, I come from the mud, and I just work my ass off, and I'm relentless.
Love that, love that. And so we feel like you have a unique perspective on the real estate industry because, you know, a lot of people they focus maybe on short-term rentals or long-term, single-family, multifamily, but as a mortgage broker, loan officer, you obviously get to see it all, right? So from your vantage point, you know, kind of doing loans for all types of real estate deals, what's some of the key things that you've taken away from as it relates to the real estate market and some of the best investment opportunities right now?
Good question, bro. First thing I would tell everybody is stay in your own lane. Comparison is the thief of joy. Mm-hmm. And I think oftentimes we start looking over to the left, to the right. We see this person doing this, seeing this person doing that, and we feel like, yo, we got to go do this. I speak to mentees, I speak to clients, I speak to people. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know black don't crack. I know. I know, right? But I've been speaking to people for 20 years about real estate. And what I notice is most people have 20 different plans of what they want to do. I mean, there's literally, I taught a class 2 weeks ago, and I named over 100 different real estate strategies that's out there. You only need one, right? Focus on that one thing. Like, let me ask you a question. And when I ask the question, I want you to say the number out loud. What's your freedom point? What's the number? Say it.
50 million.
50 million?
You asked me about
Nah. You work right now?
like a Hebrew slave.
So what's your number that you need to fire your job? 150,000? That's what? 12,500 a month? Focus on getting the 12,500 a month consistently. So that way you can fire your job and buy back your freedom and be able to do whatever it is you need to do. And you don't need to do 100 different real estate strategies to do that. You just need one, right? So short-term rental, long-term rental, I don't give a
Do something.
no, I don't really care. To be honest with you, everything is a tool, right? You want to do short term, that's the way for you, cool. You want to do long term, that's the way for you, cool. You want to burst strategies, cool. I don't care.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me most importantly is can you afford whatever you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be a foreclosure away? Are you going to be house rich or cash poor? Right? Because eligibility and affordability are two different things.
Oh, that's good. Talk about it.
It's easy for me to get you a loan. On paper, you look great. We're the bank. We don't care what you look like after taxes, your child care, your utilities, your car insurance, your brunch on Sundays. You go to Atlanta, you got to get hookah. Like, you want to go to Invest Fest, it's going to cost you. You got to travel. We don't care about that. We care about what's your gross if you're a W-2. But you live your life on your net. So you have to make sure that just because a bank can give you a mortgage doesn't mean you really can afford it. So that's what's most important to me because I'm a person who, I came in this during the Wild Cowboy days. You only needed a pulse to get a loan. Oh, we was killing it. So if you watch any of these movies, I was that guy giving the loans.
Giving the loan out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Giving it to the dog. Like, yeah, your dog name. But we can fund them too.
He's the co-borrower. You know what I'm saying? He's the co-borrower. He lives there, right? Put him on the application. Put his paw down the sign. We out, right? But I'm also someone who lost everything during the crash. So I understand firsthand just from my own life, my own experiences of how it feels to be on the other side of a foreclosure, a short sale, having 2 young children, gotta go live at your mother-in-law crib, right? I know that feeling. I know how, what Biggie said, I know how it feels to wake up fucked up, pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. Shit.
Yeah. Real talk.
So for me, what's most important to me is that you have the education, you know exactly what you're investing to. When I ask you questions, if you can't answer them correctly, how are you telling me you're trying to be an investor if you don't even know what ARV means? Like what? You don't know what comps are or how to find them, but you want to invest all your money. Good luck. I can't do your loan because you ain't gonna mess up my pristine record. Go around the corner.
Yeah. And I think it's so important that we spend a little bit of time educating ourselves. I think, so I tell people all the time, information changes situations, right? But I don't want that information to turn into analysis paralysis at the same time, right? But like we have to educate ourselves before we do anything because the biggest cost, like the biggest tax you're gonna pay is ignorance tax. Tax for not knowing how to do something correctly. So everybody take a little bit of time to educate themselves on whatever they want to get into. So speaking of educating themselves, right now we're in a crazy time, right? 3 years ago, mortgage rates was like, I bought a three flat, I got 2.9% mortgage rate. Now we in a 6.5% time, right?
Love it.
So what is your advice and it's probably a two-part question. What is your advice to first-time homeowners in this market? And then what is your advice to first-time investors in this market, if that advice is different?
I don't think it's different. It's kind of all the same, right? Don't be house rich and cash poor. These tenants ain't guaranteed to pay you a damn dollar. So make sure you can afford to make that mortgage payment because the bank want their money rain, sleet, hail, snow, right? You know, we in Brooklyn, so I gotta kind of like, I gotta pay homage to my brother, the Notorious Glorious, right? But it's a fact, right? They want their money rain, sleet, hail, snow. That goes for if you buying a primary or you buy an investment property. You need to have reserves. How many people seen on the internet you could buy real estate with no money down, no money out of pocket? Good luck. Good luck. Because real estate, you need money. Whether it's your money or somebody else's money, you need money. And if you ain't got the experience, you better not take nobody else's money because then it's going to be on some street shit because these people want their money, right? So, like, you have to tread carefully. Interest rates, I personally don't care about interest rates. Me personally. I don't care if the rates, yes, I took advantage of it, but that's why I was screaming to, if you follow me for the past 2 to 3 years, you will see I kept on saying, yo, you need to buy now. I don't care what the home prices are. The money is the cheapest it's ever been, ever. So it's going to balance itself out. And the people who listen to me, including myself, have a couple $100,000 worth of equity right now on multiple properties. Real estate, no matter if you're buying a primary residence or a investment property, is a business. I look at it as if you can file, if the IRS is going to give you deductions, you're a business owner. You're running a business, so you can't be emotional. Everybody here is a CEO. And when you buy your first house, you buy your investment property, you are now, congratulations, a CEO of a real estate business. And if you're buying a primary residence, don't pay sticker price. Think like the investor. You think an investor is going to buy anything at retail? No. Jude, you buying anything retail? Exactly my point. So if Jude is not going to do it, why the hell are you going to do it? Who's my realtors in here? Raise your hand. You're a realtor? I love y'all, but I ain't listening to no realtor telling me I need to go asking. Respectfully, I love my realtors, right? But I'm not going to listen to no realtor tell me to go asking or above. I don't want the house that bad because I'm not emotionally attached to it. So I'm going to find something that needs work. That way I can put in sweat equity. The market is correcting itself right now. Home appreciation of 20+%, that's unicorn years. That's not normal. Do anyone in here know how much is the average appreciation over the last 60 years of real estate? Take a guess.
5%.
5%, 2%? 2% annually? On average over the last 60 years, 4% nationwide. So when you hear numbers 20%, 30%, 40% in 12 months, 18 months, that's unicorn. That's when you're supposed to get in so you can try to catch some of that wave. Who purchased real estate in the past 3 years? Raise your hand. Are y'all up and stuck right now with your equity? Mm-hmm. You're feeling good, right?
Feeling great.
Yeah. Easy, right? So real estate is all about opportunity and being prepared for the opportunity. And if you're not prepared for it, then you're going to miss the opportunity. So that advice is for everybody. Stay prepared, educate yourself, get out your own way, execute, make sure you have reserves, and treat it like a business and learn how to minimize your taxes.
We got somebody for that, right?
Hey, look. I mean, MG did an episode. That went crazy. 250,000 views, right?
It went crazy.
Yeah, it went crazy.
Watch it coming.
Yeah, so you said something earlier, man, that was really important because you posted in your social media, some girl asked you, like, if it's my first real estate deal, should I take on money from my investor friends and whatever and like to go fund the deal? And you said, no, don't go play with people's money like that, right? So is your advice to, like, say somebody's first time to just use their own money for the deal? Like, don't take any capital, or like if somebody in this room wanted to do a deal, should they take somebody else's money and test, or should they test with their own first?
Is this a trick question? No. So let me ask you a question. Are you giving your hard-earned money to someone who has no experience, no credentials,
no chance
under their belt?
No chance.
Hell no.
There you go.
Why in God's green earth would I do that to myself? I am asking for myself to be broke. I can find better ways to blow my money if I'm going to blow my money.
Funner ways to blow your money.
Yeah, I could go to Dubai and blow my money and have pictures for the gram and come back broke. But at least I can look at the pictures, right? But I'm a fan of betting on myself, bet on black. So why am I going to put my money? And look, I was watching this documentary the other day, the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix. Yo, this joint is absolutely incredible. Yo, if you didn't see that documentary on Netflix right now, watch that joint tonight, all 4 episodes.
Bet.
And if you smoke, watch it while you're high. If you drink some wine with it. Because let me tell you, that joint right there, I binge watched it 4 hours. I said, this nigga was incredible. No, he was the GOAT of scammers. This man did not do one trade ever. Like he was investigated by the SEC and all these different institutions, and everybody just took his word for it. He was the ultimate GOAT. They didn't even check nothing. He gave the man an account number, said check it. They never checked it. Like, this is the most ultimate shit I've ever watched in my life. And I said to myself, damn, people are just too trusting.
Yeah.
People are just too trusting. Instead of learning how to trade on your own, you're going to give somebody $1 million and you're going to believe in that person that much because he's a quote unquote wizard, because the media said he was. Like, I'm from the streets. I don't give a fuck who you are. I ain't giving you $1 million, bet alone $10.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, when we start seeing all these stories circulating the gram and all this other stuff about people losing money, feeling like they got scammed and this, that, and the third, I have empathy to a certain extent, but I also look at it as, yo, why don't you just do it yourself? If I got $100,000 to invest, why am I going to bet on any one of you? I'd rather bet on myself, because if I lose that money, who can I be mad at?
Mm-hmm.
I can only be mad at me, but I can take that loss and apply the lessons, and because there's always a blessing in a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to keep moving and keep going. So hell no, you shouldn't take nobody else's money. Long story short.
Hey, aren't you tired of buying courses in those emotional states when you want to get a result, but then you actually don't do anything with the course? Do you know on average the completion rate for a course is about 2%? But here's the thing, it's not entirely your fault. The problem is you buy the course, but you don't have access to the source who actually created it.
See, that's why we're doing something different. With the Millionaire Club, you're not just gonna get access to courses, you'll get access to the people who created it so you can get your questions answered. Because it's not just about learning, it's about taking that information so you can start earning. So the Millionaire Club is gonna give you access to courses, but not just that, it's an entire university of information. We have financial flicks, we have hundreds of previous recordings, but more than that, y'all, we have an amazing community of people just like you who are trying to become a first generation millionaire. So like GA said, like, you can survive without community, but you can't thrive without community. So this is the place you need to be, right?
100%, because here's the thing. If it was just about information, we'd all be billionaires with six packs. So that's why every single Monday, we're going to set the tone for your week with Melanin Millionaire Mondays, where our entire community is going to meet up. The energy is going to be high. We're going to set the intention for what we're going to execute on so we can move the needle forward, and Carter and I and the rest of our team can keep you accountable.
So that's enough information. You see the rest in the club. All you got to do, click the link below, sign up, and start your journey to your first millionaire year. Let's get it.
Let's go.
No, that's good. That's good. Speaking of the scam circulating the gram.
I don't trust this shit. I'm standing up. You ain't going to have me on World Star.
Speaking of the scams circulating the gram, I mean, there's been a lot of, content in recent weeks where people have, claimed to be scammed.
Damn, you have to go there, huh?
Yeah, but we already here. Might as well go there.
And they are who they say they are. So my question to you is, I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but what are some things that new and prospective investors can avoid, right, in their journey? Because at the end of the day, I mean, y'all have, a great platform. Anybody heard about Earn Your Leisure, EYL?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They have, so y'all educate between their platform and also your platform on YouTube as well. Y'all educate a lot of people and give a lot of great information. So I don't think the message is don't listen to other people, But what are some, I guess, common misconceptions that are spewed out that I think lack the context that attract people to, them, and then they end up running the play and then losing money?
People are too trusting. People are naive. And I think, look, like I said, I'm not trusting nobody with my money, me personally. I can take your information and I can research it and I can see how I can apply this information into my real life or what I'm doing, because your success doesn't dictate my success at the end of the day. And I understand that real estate, it goes in cycles. So just because someone has success 6 months ago, 12 months ago, doesn't mean you're going to have success moving forward, right? So for me, I would just tell people, look, if you're here tonight, you're serious about your craft, your education, and what you're trying to be. How many people went to college? Raise your hand, right? Half of the room, majority of the room went to college. How many hours was you studying every week to pass these exams?
A lot. Sheesh.
A lot, right?
Flashbacks.
So think about it. How many hours are you really putting into your education now that you're an adult and you don't have to go to school? Think about that. Are you putting in 20 hours a week in your own education? Because I damn sure best to believe all of y'all are probably putting in 30 to 50 hours a week to pass some exams, to get some piece of paper, and you probably don't even work in that field that you paid over $100,000 for.
Talk about it.
Right? So if you want to invest in real estate, you want to avoid being scams, educate yourself.
Facts.
Because when you speak to someone who says they are who they are, you'll be able to ask intelligent questions and have an intelligent conversation. Even if you don't have one deal in your pocket, you can still have a conversation with someone. So how you avoid being scammed? Educate yourself. Put in 20 hours a week. When I'm going to the gym now, I'm not listening to music. I'm listening to something educational that's feeding my brain, right? If you watch me, you see I'm doing a lot of content with developers. I have my girl, Vanessa Cole. Vanessa, raise your hand. She's a beast. Y'all need to all follow her, FYI. She just bought 1,500 acres, okay? Clap that up. Clap that up. I'm just trying to tell you. She's building a lot of homes in Houston, right? So when I bring people like this into my world, y'all might look at it as Matt doing content. No, I'm studying. I'm learning from people, right? Because I'm asking questions that I want to know because I know it's going to help me on my journey, right? So education is the key to success. The more you learn, the more you earn. So if you want to avoid being scammed, you want to avoid being taken advantage of, learn your craft, master it. Put the same amount of time that you will put in for your job, put it in your school. You need to put it in for yourself. And if you put it into yourself, you can't lose. You're not going to trust your money with anybody else. You're not going to believe the hype. You're going to see past the jets, the cars, the Rolexes. You're going to get past all they showing you these houses. You're going to get past all of that, and you're going to be able to look at the core and say, you know what, I'm good. Let me bet on myself, because if I have this type of money, I'd rather bet on myself than I bet on anybody else. Now, hold on. Let's talk about this EYL shit, because this is what pisses me off about people talking about scamming and EYL. If the United States government could not figure out that there was the biggest fraud in the world going on, I'm sorry. What the hell makes you think a couple guys who just started podcasting 5 years ago can vet out some of these people at the highest level? So when people try to bring up, oh, you had them on the platform and this, that, and the third, it's like, yo, bro, we had over 412 guests. If somebody gets on a show and then 2 to 3 years later is accused of something, how is that our problem? How is that our fault? We say do your own research, do your due diligence. We didn't tell you to go invest them, give your money, or none of this. So what I hate what's happening within our community, everybody is on like some bandwagon right now of trying to throw rocks at the throne. Don't throw rocks at the throne, because we're not going to respond. We're going to look at you like you're crazy, and we're going to keep moving, and we're going to go public soon. Like, it's very simple. This is how we operate. This is how our mentality. We can't vet everyone. People are going to mess up and make mistakes. Just because they was on the show doesn't mean we hang out with them, doesn't mean they are friends. They are requested. They are highly requested in some cases. And we ask informational type of questions and they give game. And whatever anyone chooses to do, you got to take accountability for yourself. It's like the subprime crisis. I'm going to cut your wisdom off, but it's a subprime crisis. Everybody tried to blame the banks and the brokers. What about the consumer?
Yeah, true.
Facts.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Nobody told you I take out 10 loans.
Yeah. At variable interest rates? Like,
I'm just saying, no one told you to do that. You chose to do it because you was acting on greed just like everyone else in this world. But then when the shit hits the fan, so to speak, then I'm gonna point fingers at everybody else. No, take accountability for yourself too. So when I see things that go on the internet, it's just like, yo, this is real corny right now because Bernie Madoff was touted all around the world as the greatest Wall Street mind ever. But I never heard anyone say they're not watching CNN, CNBC,
that's
or
good.
any of these other platforms before. So how can you hold people who are now, we're not podcasters, we're media companies. Don't disrespect us. And we're media companies. This is a media company, social proof media company, right? We're putting out high-level education that has never been brought to our communities ever like this. We're talking in languages that people never understood. This shit was Chinese and foreign to us, right? We didn't understand this, but it's people like you guys. It's like Dave and Donnie. It's EYL. They're bringing things to light right now to help us all win.
Exactly.
So I think people just need to kind of like really take accountability for themselves and not try to blame the platforms.
That's a big fact.
Blame the people.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing the dirt.
Yeah. That's facts.
Big
So that's
fact.
my
Nah,
story.
that's so real. Y'all clap that up. That's fire.
How about for that? Yeah.
And so speaking of the platform that you guys have built and the kind of meteoric rise that you guys in the path that you guys have trailblazed for everybody, let's talk a little bit about like what that experience has been like, right? Obviously, you know, y'all's brands, both collectively and individually, have blown up substantially, been able to impact and serve a lot of people. What are some things that maybe people aren't as glaringly evident to the general public that you've learned in this evolution of just creating and growing a brand?
That Rashad is a mad genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. Okay. Simple.
There we go.
You don't know that because you might see him, but he's very reserved. If you ever been in a room with him, you see he don't speak a lot. Like, so the personality you see of him on camera is totally different when you're in person with him. He's very reserved and he's a people watcher. And he only speaks when spoken to in most cases. But the first time I connected with him, back in 2018, he had 9,000 followers. And quick story, I kept on, remember the Explorer page was like the thing, if you went viral? So I used to always see these prominent figures in our community talking financial literacy and business. And I used to go to the page and it always had a watermark at Rashad Bilal. So I go to the page and I see he got 9,000 followers, but it'd be like 5,000 comments. Then I look in the caption, his caption was like a lesson. Then the comments would be like the shade room for financial literacy. It would be crazy. So after a couple weeks of seeing this, I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. What's going on here? I see in his bio that he's a financial planner. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. He's a financial planner. So now I'm stalking his page. Where's the content about financial planning? There was none. I said, nah, this nigga's up to something. I swear to God, I said he's up to something. I DM him, yo, I'm a local loan officer, blah, blah, blah. I want to send my clients to Black financial planners. He responded. We got on a call. The synergy was there. I sent him 20 clients. 15 of them rolled off money. I didn't ask him for a penny. He calls me back like 2 months later. Like, yo, I got all these clients coming to me because of you. Yo, what do you want? A referral fee or something? I said, nah, teach me what you're doing. Because I don't understand how you get 1,000 comments.
There's a lesson in that.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lesson because I didn't want none. I gave without asking. In order to get something back, you got to give. It's a blessing to be a blessing to others. So that's lesson number one. If you don't learn anything from me, I bless others before I bless myself. So when we had a call, I said, yo, I need to learn how you're doing this because the mortgage business is boring. So he told me the play of how to make my page engage. And Rashad's younger than me. I'm 44 years old. They just turned, I think, 39 or 40. So I'm not afraid to learn from younger people. I didn't have an ego. I was already successful in my business. So he told me to play. I started doing it, and the shit was working. I said, oh, my God, this guy's up to something, right? Fast forward, January 2019, I started seeing him hashtag earn your leisure. So I call him. I said, dog, what's this earn your leisure tag? What does this mean? What is this? He said, we having a podcast coming out, me and my best friend Troy. I'm like, another nigga with a podcast. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, cool, bro. He's like, yeah, matter of fact, I want you on it. Bad. No problem. Yeah. But I was really like, nah, I'm really in my mind. Like,
I'll do it, but
because I've never been on a podcast before. Yeah. Like, and at this time I was on tour with DJ Envy. So I'm like, all right, when I get back from the Miami run, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, we set the date. And I said, let me watch what they're doing. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is good. Like, this is really good information. So I'm watching this. Then we get on Minds, and then my episode was the first episode that went viral for them that brought them in the top 10 on Apple. Actually, number 8. That's why I say episode 12 is the GOAT episode. But to answer your question, Rashad is an evil genius because everything that's happening right now, he told me this 4 years ago. And I looked at him like he was crazy. No, seriously. He said he was going to be bigger than the Breakfast Club. I said, dude, what you smoking?
Let me hit that too.
Yo, can I have some
Must
of that?
be good.
Who's your connect?
Yeah.
But he told me this 4 years ago. He told me things that are happening right now, it blows my mind. He told me this will happen, bro. And I look at it now, I'm like, yo, this dude is crazy. You know how InvestFest came up?
How? Break it down. Break it down, please. Because 20,000 people, who want to invest us in the room? Yeah.
I'm going to tell you his genius right now. Real talk. It came through a text message in a group text for us and the partners. He said, I got an idea. I said, you got an idea? And usually when Rashad has an idea, it takes him a week to tell you the idea. But this time, he said, we got to jump on a call now. Okay. He said, look, because at this time, we was already touring. We was doing networking events. We was doing events. But they were all, good events. But there wasn't InvestFest. He said, we need to do something different, blah, blah, blah. We need to do the first financial literacy festival. I said, what? He said, yeah, like Coachella meets SNFest meets the financial literacy world. I said, damn, that sounds crazy, bro. He's like, yeah, food trucks. We need to have it festival. Like, they be outside, like festival. And we're all on this call like, okay, sounds like a good idea. So long story short, this call lasted for 3.5 hours, I believe. By the time this call was over, we had bought the domain name of investfest.com for $5,000. We started the LLC. We started planning to run a show. We started thinking about locations. We started thinking about the guests, all in 3.5 hours. Everything was pretty much done. And the first InvestFest, we planned for 2 weeks, promoted for 6 weeks, and the first one had 4,500 people.
Sheesh. Give a round of applause to that.
But that's execution.
Yeah, no, I was about to say, there's so many lessons in that, right? The information is on us, but the execution is on you, right? Like, execution is my biggest superpower, right? Like, because if you execute on information fast, you get the results fast. Then you get to execute. Then you get another idea. You get to execute on information. So I think the biggest thing in that, man, is understanding the power of execution. So everybody in this room need to ask themselves, what are you going to execute on today? What are you going to execute on this week? What are you going to execute on this month? Because information without execution, you just being entertained.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So you need to execute things as well. And I love that story because my partner is always coming up with these ideas. Like, this will be in 3 years. I'm like, bro, I can only see 3 days ahead of time. But that visionary, I think having that visionary in the business is so vital.
Yeah, that was love.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people feel a little bit of uncertainty. The market has actually done better than expected for this year. Everybody was screaming recession, recession, recession. Where do you see the real estate market headed over the next 12 to 24 months?
I don't care.
Okay.
Fair?
Can I control that?
No.
No. If rates go up tomorrow, can any of us in the room control that?
No.
If the price goes down 50% tomorrow, can you control that?
Mm-mm.
Can you control how you're preparing? Can you control what you're learning?
Mm-hmm.
Can you control what you're spending?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care about, bro. I don't focus on things I can't control. I have no power over any of this stuff. This shit is all monopoly money at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So only thing that I can focus on is what are my daily activities? Am I being busy or am I being productive? Because there's a difference. Most people are busy every single day, but you ain't accomplishing shit. I I'd rather be productive than be busy. And that productivity can be 2 tasks, but that 2 tasks will outweigh that busy activity because I'll be spinning my head and spinning, like chasing my tail, so to speak. But if I'm productive, that's going to lead to some money. So the only thing that I can focus on is what am I doing every single day to reach the goals that I have set? Now, do I care about learning the housing market and the trends so I can plan properly? Yes. But do I care where it goes? No, because brick and mortar is forever. Unless the world blows up, God forbid, one day it might happen, then that's the only time I'm going to care because my real estate is going to blow up with it. We're all going to be dead at the end of the day. But if the market goes up, down, left or right, this ain't the stock market. This ain't Forex. This ain't options. This is brick and mortar. I can touch my building. It loses 50% value. Guess what? I can still rub it, and those tenants still need to pay me.
That's a fact.
I don't mean my rent go down 50% because the market crashed. No, pay your rent. Because in housing, you only have a couple things you can do. You can either own, you can rent, you can live with someone, or be homeless. Pick your poison.
Thanks.
There you go.
I tell people all the time, and I read this in a book, and I want y'all to write this down. More money is lost trying to predict a recession than is actually lost during the recession, right? So you lose more money sitting on the sideline and waiting for the perfect time than you would if you just got in the game. Don't be the person that watches everybody from the sidelines, you watching them live out their dream while you live in a nightmare. You know what I'm saying? So more money is lost during a recession than trying to plan it. So I just control what I control, do my thing, and make sure I have money on the side to get through my day to day.
Yeah, and then if you're someone who's out here flipping homes or building homes, then you need to pay attention to the local real estate market, not the national, because real estate is not a national business. It's local. It's city to city, block to block. So if you're flipping, if you're building to flip, to sell, you need to pay attention to those local trends, right? That's the market that you really focus. But if I'm all about cash flowing properties, look, I'm looking at rental rates, right? What's my pro forma looking like in 2 to 3 years if these rates in this market keeps increasing and increasing? So those are the things that I focus on, not what the global economy is doing, not what recession. I don't care. Who cares?
Right.
That's opportunity.
Facts.
Economy great, opportunity.
I love it.
Opportunity.
Question, how many people in this room have a W-2 job? Raise your hand. Can I give y'all a strategy on how to eliminate the taxes from your W-2 job? Y'all don't seem like y'all want it. Okay. Can I give them the strategy? Okay. Give them the game. I can't give them the game? Y'all pay too much money for that? A smidgen. Okay. So I love real estate because real estate is the most tax advantage strategy. The most tax advantage asset in the world. So there's a strategy called a cost segregation study. Okay? I'm going to give you the play quick, pick up what you can, write down what you can't. So if you have a W-2 job, let's say you make $100,000, you're going to pay about $30,000 in taxes and you can't really do much about that. But if you buy a real estate property and you short-term rental the real estate property out, meaning Airbnb, VRBO, all that stuff like that, if you do a short-term rental on that property and you hire engineers to do what's called a cost segregation study, you're able to depreciate about 30% of that building, AKA you're able to write off 30% of the value that you pay for that building. So let's do an example. If you make $100,000 at work, right, and you buy a $300,000 property with a 3.5% loan, right, because it's you're a first-time home buyer, you can now do a cost segregation study and depreciate 30% of that building. Anybody do me a favor? What's 30% of 300,000? 90,000. So you get a $90,000 tax deduction. You usually have a $90,000 loss from that building. That $90,000 loss gets subtracted from your W-2 income at work. So you've paid into the tax system as if you made 100,000, but you really only made 10. Now you'll get a $20,000 tax refund from your job. And now what you're going to do? You're going to take that $20,000 tax refund and buy another building. And you're going to run the play with no delay and live tax-free in 2023. How's that?
I like it. I like it.
Gems.
And so as we wrap up here, thanks for all the gems, the wisdom, and just being real and straightforward. Our goal is to help 100,000 people of color achieve their first 1 million in net worth over the next decade. That's our goal.
Give a round of applause for that.
I like that.
And so when you think about the people that you help, people that you've come in contact with, and the things you've done personally, what does being a melanin millionaire mean to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah, buddy. We got him.
I got to think about that one. Like I said, I come from trauma, man. So I'm the first millionaire in my family.
Clap that up.
Yeah, you excited. More excited than me. I mean, I come from trauma, so it means everything to me, right? Like I'm not a product of my environment. You know, I'm able to take care of my children. My daughter's graduating from high school. She's going to college. She won't have no student loans. My son is right behind her. He won't have student loans. Baby boss coming soon in like 10 years. She ain't going to have no loans, God willing. You know what I'm saying? So for me, you know, Jay-Z said it the best. I'd rather live enormous than die dormant. That's why we on it. Live from the main event. I bet a trip to Maui on it. That's just how I want to live my life. I want to live in abundance. I don't want to be broke. I know how it feels to wake up with no money. I know how it feels to be, I was talking to my car brother the other day, and we was laughing at how we used to get beat because we didn't go to free lunch and get the government cheese, right? Like, this is real talk. Yeah. Now, like, we eat wherever we want. We do whatever we want. We travel wherever we want. Like, I don't book flights weeks and months in advance. I book them the day before, and I don't even book returns. I come back when I want, right? Like, my freedom has been purchased because I put in my time. I put in my work. So being a first millionaire in my family is huge, but it's the freedom that I have to be able to do whatever the fuck it is that I want, whenever I want, with no explanation to nobody but to God.
Well, we got our social media clip. Y'all give it up for MG the mortgage guy. Hold on. He just gave y'all all sorts of games and gems, and that was one of the laziest claps I've heard.
Can I get one more?
Yeah.
Because I just thought about this and I forgot. I'm sorry. The other thing it means also, besides putting on my family, I'm able to help people that look like me. I have employees. I don't even like to call them employees. They're partners, right? So I have staff. I have payroll every 2 weeks. That's powerful. Other people's families are impacted by the work that I am doing. So that is, I think, more powerful than anything than helping myself, is that I'm able to help other people, and I get to pick and choose who I want to be in my energy and help them grow and help them do what they have to do for their life. Look what Took's been with me for God knows how long. Yeah. He hasn't worked a regular job in like 5-6 years.
Yeah, he owning the media company, ain't he?
He's Took's Productions.
Let's get it.
This is what he do. But like things like that is important, because making money is just not about yourself. It's about the people that you love the most, first and foremost, and then it's about how can you really help your community. And how you help your community is by putting them in positions with jobs, education, knowledge, so that way they can feed their family. And that cycle goes on and on and on. And that's how we break generational curses.
I love that.
Hey, stand up and give him a round of applause, y'all. Let's get it.